so on and so forth, right? So we have basically about 7 different apps, 7 distinct front ends, the Saptarshi Mandala. So all of them will be one app here, right? So this is the production, by the way. Yeah. So this is the Firebase, the front end. Similarly, our backend will be here. So there is a separate GCP, which is connected to our WizKids.app, and that is where the backend is. So WizKids, so under this, right? So Wow Apps Prod. So there is a project called Wow Apps Prod. So under that, all different kinds of setups will be there. Our microservices, our database, so on and so forth. What exactly they are setting up, how they are setting up. Once when Kiran and Mallikarjun join, we can have a short walkthrough and a current status check. Any other questions anybody has? Clear, no? Yeah. And it will be, so one more thing that you need to understand is about the domain. So domains are usually managed in registrars. So GoDaddy is a registrar. So under GoDaddy, we bought a domain, and the domain is WizKids.app. So for example, if you want to go to production, you'll be sharing a URL to the children. So WizKids.app/studentmate. So how to, when you type that WizKids.app/studentmate, it should come to your front end app, right? So how do you route that? So for that, you use the registrar. You'll make something called as a registry entry. So there is something called as a DNS, domain name service, right? So a domain name, WizKids.app is a domain name. It has to be mapped to a some kind of a IP address. See, in the internet, when you type something, ultimately it is known to each other by numbers. They don't know about the names. So something has to map the name to the numbers. So the way every machine is recognized in the internet is through what is called as IP address. What does IP stand for? Internet protocol, right? So there's a protocol in how the machine should talk to each other. So that needs that every machine has to have a IP address. So there is IPv4, IPv6. So that is nothing but the length of the address. Okay, so for example, any idea what is the number of addresses, or by the number of devices that can be supported in the internet with IPv4 address scheming versus IPv6?
Maybe one more, then
why didn't we not
register? Domain name WizKids.guru.
WizKids.guru is already with GoDaddy, but it is by, I think, Darshanji. So his in his Purna Chetana account, he is managing. And one is, we wanted to make sure that production and dev are separate. Second one, because he has the access, many a times, we need all this coordination, right? So for our setup purposes, it is easier if we have something. Yeah. So if you see here, IPv4 uses 32-bit address scheme, whereas IPv6 uses 128-bit. So what is this 32-bit? So for example, you may see 127.0.0.1, right? So it's a how you address a particular machine. In a given network, you give every machine a unique number. 127 is usually local network. .0.0.0 is a local host. So you have a way of organizing, right? And 0.0.1, one machine, 0.0.2, so another machine, like that. So now imagine, the whole internet is nothing but machines talking to each other, right? You're able to talk to some machine. When you say google.com, you're talking to some machine. So which machine are you talking to? That you can know by asking, see, for example, what is my IP? So if I ask, what is my IP? My IP address. So the machine which is connected to internet, how is it connected to internet? Through the local router, and the local router is supported by Airtel. Airtel is assigning me some address, and it is known to the world. So my machine is not necessarily known to the world. Whatever the public IP through which Airtel is known to the world. And that one currently, this site is recognizing it as 49.37.241.47, right? That may not be the IP address of my machine. So like that, all the machines are given IP addresses. Yes, I will have a local IP address also. Yeah. If you usually go to your it is console here. If you go to your terminal and then you can say,
Yeah, sorry.
so yeah, in the Mac, it is ifconfig. Yeah. So like that, you see, it will show there are different adapters which will connect to in Windows. Usually it is ipconfig. If you do ipconfig, you will see. Yeah. Yeah, this is Mac. So now, if you see, IPv4 can support up to 2 to the power of 32 because it is a 32-bit addressing, right? Yeah, right. See, it can support up to 2 to the power of 32, which is roughly about 4.3 billion devices. If you use for IPv4, you can have 4.3 billion devices, but already, that is not enough, right? Because, each person may have one laptop, 2 mobiles. So if you go by that logic also, you're already talking about multi-billion of the number of people, plus you have servers, many other machines, right? Then there are a lot of these small devices which also need internet address. So that is where IPv6 came into picture. And if you look at IPv6, it is to the power of 128. So it's like, 10 followed by 38 unique zeros, right? It's a huge number. So at least in the near future, we will not run out of addresses with IPv6, right? So this is how these things work. Okay. Namaste, Mallikarjun sir.
Namaste sir, sorry sir for the delay. Actually, I was traveling to my home. So
no, that's okay. Have you reached?
Yes sir, I have reached. I am in car. So for that credentials, I have made a document. You need to run through Cloud Shell, sir, in your GCP account.
Okay, so we'll go into that. Is it
Okay.
possible for you to share the current setup diagram so that everybody here knows?
Sir, DB connections and DB setup is ready, sir.
Yes.
And
No.
once after
Mallikarjun
we
sir.
get access, Cloud Run setup, we will do it.
Mallikarjun sir, that is not what I'm asking. You made the network architecture diagram, right?
4 years.
So I'm asking you, can you share that and quickly run everybody through that.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
1 minute, sir. I will check.
Yeah, yeah. I had called Kiran. He should be joining in another 5-10 minutes. Meanwhile, if you can give a quick update on the current architecture, by that time Kiran will also join. By that time, Dhavalji will come, and then we can discuss the lesson hierarchy. Until then, so Karniji, in terms of the API side, are all the changes done?
Blockers, sir.
Yeah,
All blockers removed, sir.
all blockers are removed. Okay. So you've been able to verify, is it? So you're able to do everything, right from setting up the lessons, seeing it in the student mail. Super. So the only functional thing that we need to now resolve is the levels. And have you received the content, or you're yet to receive the content?
Yes. She said she'll run through the students once or twice.
Yeah.
They said they have to feel happy about the content.
And then she will. Okay. Mallikarjun sir, do you need some more time, or?
Sir, I will share. Shall I share here or on WhatsApp? Shall I share?
No, you can share on the Zoom and you can give a walkthrough.
Okay.
So the group that you see here consists of the whole platform team as well as all the other technical members. There are people who are working on the front end, on the other aspects of the overall solution. Usually every Saturday, everybody meets together to discuss. So this is to give everybody an idea of where the production setup stands.
Sure. Okay, okay. I'm sharing my screen.
Yeah, sure.
This is our infra setup, and it starts.
1 minute. Mallikarjun sir, can you zoom in a bit?
Okay, sir. Is it visible?
Yeah, just 1 minute. Okay. Yeah. So Mallikarjun sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Go step by step, slowly. It's okay. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
The user using this device is accesses this infra using internet gateway, and via load balancer we will distribute all the traffics through. Then it will go through Cloud Armor into the microservices, and here we are using VPC connector to connect Cloud Run with Cloud SQL. Since we are placing both microservices and Cloud SQL in the private subnet, here we are using VPC connectors. And artifact, we are storing all the Docker images in artifact registry. Once we build and deploy, and we are using cloud logging and cloud monitoring for getting the services monitor and getting the logs of the services which are we are using in our infra.
Yeah, Mallikarjun sir, let me add a couple of more points. So what you are seeing here is a typical deployment diagram or a network architecture diagram. There are different names by which you can call it, but this is, think of it like a picture of your production environment. see, the whole, what about your development environment or the solution, right? Unlike a mechanical or a civil system, there is no system that you can touch and feel, right? So visualization becomes very important. So therefore, you generate various architectural views which you can relate to. So as an example, we would have seen earlier conceptual architecture, where, usually you put all the UIs at the top, then APIs, then database, right? So some such picture, right? Like that, this is the physical deployment or the physical network of your environment. So all the parts that you see, all the boxes you see here. So you see several blue color boxes, right? And around them some blocks. Yeah. Can you be there? Around them some blocks. So all of it indicates different divisions, and the lines indicate what is connected to what. So for all practical purposes, you can think of it like, start from the left, far left. You see user. Okay, user has a laptop or a mobile, right? Physical connection. You'll see a physical device like a laptop, and that in turn talks to, if you were to walk and go to Google Center, you will see this thing, what you call as a gateway. There'll be some machine which they will point it and say that this is gateway where all the traffic comes. Of course, in between your machine and the Google, there is ton of other machines. For example, from this location, you have a router, and from the router, it goes to, in the basement, there is another bigger router. And from that, can you, okay, so 1 minute. Let me do one thing. Mallikarjun sir,
Sir.
can you share this diagram with me in WhatsApp?
Sure.
Yeah. So just share this diagram as is in the WhatsApp. Okay. So can you stop sharing now?
Sure, sir.
I will share my screen. Okay, is this visible? Yeah, I'll now make it bigger. Is this visible to people online also? Anupama ji, Karni ji.
Yes, Ji.
Better? Okay. So, yeah, so, from your machine, right? You'll go to a router, another bigger router. Then, usually how the network is done is, from your basement, there'll be some junction point where, they distribute to all the houses in that locality. From there, it goes to another bigger at a city level, like that. And then from there, it goes to another bigger junction, usually. So see, at the end of the day, your machine has to talk to, your laptop has to talk to Google, right? And Google's machine may be in North America, in, let's say, New York, right? So now how does it talk? Under the sea, there'll be cables. So it'll go to your Chennai. From Chennai, there may be under the sea cable going to Singapore. And from Singapore, there may be another one going either via the Atlantic route or the Pacific route. So this is how the physical infrastructure is. We simply type something. But in order to get that whole thing working, thousands and thousands of machines work together at the same time. and it goes to that. And all of this is happening in that split second, right? We want, oh, it's very slow. Within 3 seconds, we want. So just for that page to come, there is so much happening. In between, there are so many pieces. This is if you take the physical route, the cable route. Sometimes, you have heard about this Starlink by Elon Musk. So Starlink is like, or think of your mobile, right? So your mobile data doesn't have a physical router. How does it work? This in turn talks to your wireless router at the station, Airtel station. And that in turn may have a physical routing or may have satellite routing. So the whole Elon Musk's Starlink is a satellite routing. So from your base station, it is going to talk to satellite, and from satellite, it will connect to another base station. So there, they avoid all the physical route. But, you need some kind of a connectivity all through, right? So all that is not necessarily shown in this diagram. It's simplified. But what is important to us is what happens when it goes there, right? Because these are all the different things for which we are paying. Why these blue things are shown is all these are something that, we need to pay for. When you go to your Google Cloud, you will say, okay, I want the internet gateway service. I want a load balancer service. And I want this Cloud Armor service. And what is the configuration of it? Everything that you pay for. That's why we are showing that in the diagram. So now the traffic comes here. So now how does the traffic know that, I'm talking about WizKids.app./studentmate? That is why you see this GoDaddy. So GoDaddy is the one which helps you to translate that. Oh, WizKids.app is living in this IP address. So that translation is done here. So the traffic comes here. And once the traffic comes here, there will be a piece called as load balancer. The purpose of the load balancer is, imagine, you are sending a request for adding a lesson. You are sending a request for viewing a lesson. So now adding a lesson may be coming from TeachMate. Viewing a lesson may be coming from StudentMate. Now, where is your StudentMate API? They're all living inside this box called as Cloud Run box. Okay. Now, how does this traffic in your laptop know it has to go here or here? This may be your StudentMate. This may be your TeachMate. So that is where these load balancers, and in the Cloud Run, you'll be able to route the address. Okay, whenever the request is for blah, 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 / add a lesson. Oh, send it here. Whenever it is blah, 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 view a lesson, send it here. Now, those fellows in turn know what to do. In the Cloud Run, the API that you all have now written APIs, you also know in the API, you may want to connect to a database. So now you want to connect to database. But now our database is in a private IP address. See, so far, the database in development environment was in public, meaning anybody outside of this network also from a laptop, if they knew the IP address, they could connect. That is how we had set it up in development. But that's not a safe thing. So now it has been isolated. It is only private. So now how do you connect to a private service? That is where this another box comes called as a VPC connector, right? So like that, this is the basic mechanism. So each one is you can actually, if you can walk up to this data center, you can touch and feel, this is our ALB, this is our Cloud Armor machine. Just like how we say, this is my mobile, right? So you will see. So that network is what you are seeing here. Cloud Armor's job is to ensure that, so as an example, you want traffic coming to our API come only from, let's say, for example, Bangalore region for now, right? You can restrict that. Or only from India region, you can restrict that. Or only from a set of IP addresses, you can restrict that. Then there is a concept called the rate limiting. See, in typical web applications, right? One of the simple way by which, you can make any web server get really exhausted is you have a simple program which is simply sending request, right? It doesn't really, let's assume, I want to bring down a website. Let's say Indian government has come up with a beautiful website where, Indian citizens can go and find out about their Aadhaar card status. As an example, let's say some others want to simply make that service go down. One of the simplest way by which they can mount an attack is they can keep sending requests by creating a program which will mimic as if a user is requesting. Now imagine, you and I are citizens, you and I are making a request, but let's say something else, which is a machine, is already making this server get exhausted by thousands of requests. Then, you and I will feel this website is very slow, is not working. This is called as a DDoS, distributed denial of service attack. Okay, so like that, you can mount various kinds of digital attacks on web applications. So Cloud Armor gives you ability to put various rules and make sure that you are guarding. That's why it's called a Cloud Armor. So they have to come through. So it's like Yolu Sutina Kote. See, where will you keep your queen? Your data is your queen. So she is in the centermost. And to come to her, you have to pass through all these passes, checks, right? That is the simplest trick in security, in application security. Huh?
That is our database now.
This is your database. This is where the queen is. This is the heart of your system. See, the other things are just transactional. They come and go. If this is stolen, or if this is hijacked, or if they do something, that is what they did.
What happened.
Right? They went and they encrypted this and said, if you want this, pay us. And Chavanji said, okay, you keep it. because this is anyway development. No. So there was no problem. But in production, that cannot happen. This is what you keep reading somewhere. Oh, they lost millions of addresses, billions of phone numbers. What is happening there is the database somehow is compromised. So the hackers who should not be having access somehow have got access and are able to read that data. And these hackers mount attacks in different ways. Sometimes, if it is a system like this is one of the simplest tricks that they play. What they do is they encrypt the database. Encryption means what? The data is still there, but now you cannot understand the data.
Yeah.
It has been transformed. Now they say, you pay me some money. It's
Then
like,
I'll
I'll allow you, right? So like that. So therefore, you have to protect your most prized possession. So therefore, it has to come through all these layers, right? This is the important trick. You cannot defend your queen completely. You cannot eliminate threat. However, you can make sure that before you reach to her, there has to be so many blocks. Because, a typical hacker has to hack through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers. Usually is very difficult because, each layer has its own complexity. So that's the strategy typically for security. Yeah. So that's what this part is. Yeah. And this part is your code. Your code is sitting here, and through pipeline, Git pipeline, it gets compiled into what are called as containers, and the containers live here in the container registry, and from there they get deployed into these fellows, right? These Cloud Runs. And one of the container, the front end will also come and sit here, Firebase, right? So this is your front end. This is your API. This is your database. This is the load balancer. This is the guard. And this is where, our Karniji, Pratibhaji, Shavanji, Anishaji will be able to see what's happening, which request has come, when did it come, what's the data they sent, how long it took for us to respond, so on and so forth. That's why this is the logging and the monitoring. So that's the basic thing. Yeah, your source, your execution environment, your monitoring environment, your usage environment. Clear? Any questions? Yeah.
This block once again.
This one. This is for monitoring. See now,
That
this one is our backend people.
Ah.
Yeah, right. And also we'll be setting up now various kinds of monitoring rules. So for example, say this is your teachmate, let's assume, okay? Let's say everyday teachmate, when you think of a computer, broadly, there are three things that we can monitor: memory, its CPU usage, its network usage, broadly, right? Of course, there are many other parameters, but if let's say, for example, every day your CPU usage is on an average 20%. Today, suddenly you're seeing 60% usage. So something must be going, right? Maybe there was yesterday some new release, and that is why it is happening so. Or today, there is some unusual activity. It's a alarm, right? It's a situation for some kind of a variation. Okay, so now how do you detect that? So there are various kinds of rules that you can set up in the monitoring layer. And you can say that if my CPU usage goes above 30%, give me an alarm, right? Or my memory. Memory is my other thing. Memory is, usually when 1 GB, I am using 70%, but today suddenly 95% is being used. So alarm. Like that, you can set up various situation-based alarms. And
For that also we need to pay.
yes, yeah. Everything here that you see is something that you pay. Okay, every little thing. Yeah. So how much you have to pay, that depends, right?
Depends
So
on
our
different services.
different services. Our environment, this environment will cost us anywhere between 10 to 20,000 rupees for now, per month for now. And as we start using more and more, it will start scaling up more. Yeah. So the whole idea of the infrastructure engineering is all about how do you bring down the cost per user. See, what is our main user base? Students. So at the end of the day today, you allocate it as a cost per student. So if let's say today you're going to spend 20,000 rupees. So we have, let's say, five students or 4 students. So which means on a monthly basis, Gurukula is spending 5,000 rupees per student for infrastructure. Okay. Now that sounds like, which means that, in a year, that itself is 60,000 rupees. And if you look at the overall cost, 20 into 12, it is already 2,40,000 rupees, or 2,50,000, including all the taxes and everything. So which means that, there's so much of money. But what happens, the beauty is, this infrastructure is like this house. See, this house, though right now only 6 of us are sitting, but it can actually accommodate, depending upon Gayatri ji. So maybe say, right. No. She is very discriminative. Only women, only Atma Jyotis, like that, she will have rules. So based on that, it can accommodate those many. But let's say some 100 people can be accommodated. So what happens? Imagine now, if 6 people have to pay the rent. If let's say Gayatri ji says from now onwards, you have to pay the rent. So, and if let's say she fixes the rent as 50,000 rupees. So 6 of us. So we'll be paying that much, right? Then after 100 people come,
It will reduce.
it'll reduce. But there'll be queue for different services. But cost per user will go down, right? Same thing happens here.
As the users increase, cost will come.
But it's not also infinite. This house cannot hold 1,000 people. Oh, cost per user will come down, I will have 1,000 people. Will not work. There's a limit. Oh, 100 people only. Then what to do? Then you go and get another apartment. Same thing happens in infrastructure. That is what is called a scaling of infrastructure. You scale either vertically or horizontally. Vertically means what? Imagine that this is an independent house. She could add another floor. That is vertical scaling. What is horizontal scaling? Your BBMP comes and says after 3 floors, you cannot go any further. Then what you have to do?
Purpose.
Another, right? Same funda. So vertical scaling is you can add more CPU, more memory, more network, more of something, okay, in the same machine. In each of the blue box, you can increase. Today, it may be one vCPU, 1 gigabytes of memory. So you can go say, oh, I can go to 2 vCPU, 4 GB. Like that, you can keep increasing. After a certain time, that increase will not give you that equivalent performance. Then it is better to have another. So this is called as vertical scaling. This is called as horizontal scaling. So that is how you start scaling. But the moment you have, so this machine, whatever we already have set up this infrastructure, it can rough estimate, because as we start doing proper benchmarking, we will know. we should be able to support easily up to say 1,000 users. So now you imagine 5 users, 20,000 rupees. So now that is the bare minimum you have to spend. So which means up to 1,000 users you can support. So which means that now what happens per user? 20,000 by 1,000. So only 20 rupees per user per month. So now you see the drastic difference. 5,000 users per month to 5,000 rupees per user per month to 20 rupees, right? So it can come down even further. Yeah, but this is again today is not a fully indicative cost. Once whenever Anisha ji's things come, so Anisha ji's things require more CPU, GPUs could be, right?
Excellence.
Yeah, depending upon, she comes from a rich family. So she walks only in gold. All the others, all of us are simple people. Mud, brass, stone, but she's gold, diamond. So she needs big cars. We all can do with walking. So her cost will be high. GPU cost is very high. So once when that comes, we'll still have to do the same thing, same funda. Cost per user has to come down. So we should be able to operate, benchmark that we have set is per student per month. We want to target it, so say some 25 rupees. All inclusive. See, you're not only talking about this cost now. Now our administrators also will start using some system. Our Vaishali, our mentors, our salespeople. So all the infra put together can be still operated at 25 rupees per user per month is the kind of the goal. If all of us bless, it may happen. Yes. Okay, so now that Kiranji has joined, Kiranji, can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so can you please bring up the screen and then let us know where you stand? And after that, you and Mallikarjun can drop off and we can connect later once when your environment setup is ready for demo.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Dhavalji, is refueling done?
Yes, Ji, the bulls have eaten the grass.
Okay, so bulls have eaten the grass, but has the chakdi started?
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, okay.
Dhavalji, you have to come.
Yeah. Now I'm just waiting for the Sarathi to say, oh, so bulls can start.
No. I.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, your screen is visible, Kiran sir.
Yes, sir. Here in this part, as of now, this internet gateway and the VPC creation and the artifact registry and Cloud SQL in private subnet and the VPC connector. Yeah, and the cloud logging is enabled. The DB is completely private. Here we have created the DB servers. That one for accessing the private DB, we're using the bash and host here, which has a public IP, and the DB is running inside a private virtual machine.
Kiran sir, once when you complete the setup, you need to update the diagram.
Yes,
You
sir.
need to put the bastion host and all these other nuances also.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Please continue.
Yeah, and this is completely private virtual machine for the DB access, and it doesn't contain any external IP. That means it doesn't contain any public access. Nobody can access this database. For this, we have enabled the SSH tunneling. For example, the user should access the should SSH into the Bashonost, and through Bashonost only the DB access is can able to access. How it is, how we are enabling it is, we are generating the keys, the private keys and public keys of a particular user. The keys will be like this. One will be the private key and one will be the public key. We'll use that public key and we'll attach to the Bashonost. Inside the Bashonost, we'll be attaching the public key in the SSH keys. Here we have added 3 or 4 keys. One is for the this one is Pratibha's key, and one is the test is the my machine key. Only if the public key is added in the Bashonost, then only the user should be able to access. If the keys are not added, the person should not can't access the DB. Once after the key is added, from how the local connection is working is, one is using this SSH command. ID is RS is nothing but the private key of your local machine, and the port. Here we are doing the port forwarding from 443 to 5432. This is the default Postgres port, and this will be the private IP of our database server, and this will be the public IP of our Bashonost, and this will be the key username. Using that, if you enter this command, the tunneling will be open. That means user should be able to access through jump server to the DB access. Then only the user should be able to access in the local using the pgadmin. And with the Flyway migration of 2 repos, it is completed. One is, yeah, it is even if the DB is in private, I have integrated the in CI/CD pipeline in a way like that through Bashonost only the Flyway is getting executed. How it is, it will start the tunneling as I showed in local. It will first initiate the tunnel, and when the tunnel is active, tunnel is open, then only the Flyway migration will continue, and the DB particular schemas will be created. Similarly, for StudentMate and TeachMate, for both the repos, the Flyway migration is completed. And with the deployment, we have created for the Cloud Run deployment, the microservice deployment, for the both StudentMate and TeacherMate, we have created the CI/CD pipeline for the Cloud Run deployment and DB access thing. That is pending. That we are facing some issue with key generation, that we have found out some alternative without using that keys. We are able to access the service account of the GCP. That part is pending, and maybe after getting the access, within an hour or so, we can able to establish complete the microservice deployment and verify the access. Yeah, as of now, this is the current progress. The part we are waiting for is this part, the microservice deployment part. Once it is done, the we will bring up the application load balancer and the Cloud Armor. In Cloud Armor, as of now, we are I've thought of 2 rules. If you have any suggestions, you can suggest. One is for the region based, only India region based request will be access to our backend services, and another rule will be the rate limiting. What I thought is 10 requests per IP per minute. That means per minute from a particular IP, only 10 requests are being allowed. The 11th request will be rejected. I thought of this standardized rate limiting part, and other than this, the complete setup is there. Firebase setup, it will be maximum. It will take us 15 to 20 minutes for this deployment. We are ready with the script. Only once after the Firebase account is created, the script will be executed. It has been tested.
Firebase account is ready, Kiran sir.
Yes.
And let me know what access is needed. I have set up 2 projects. Can I share the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is the WizKids app Firebase account, and StudentMate app and TeachMate app have been created. So what kind of permission has to be set up for you?
Yes, sir. Can you click on that StudentMate app? And inside that settings icon, project user and permissions. Yeah, here add member. As of now,
I'll add that GCP consultant group ID only. So you should be able to get now. That is how I've given you access here. See here. There's a GCP
it's
group ID.
I think I don't think it will work. I guess we need to give the email
Mail
ID.
IDs of ours.
Mail ID only.
Yes,
Can we
yes.
verify whether it can do with a group ID?
But we need to access the UI, sir. But the UI won't be accessible with our ID.
Okay, so you won't be able to deploy also, is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it has to be specific email IDs.
Yes, sir. Or else whichever the email ID we enter, we should have access for that email ID.
Okay, all right. So KIRAN
.sv @TBillSearch.
I thought it would work like however GCP is working, right? In GCP,
Yes, sir.
you could simply add a group ID, and then in the group I've added both of you.
Okay.
That's how you got access actually. If you see here in the GCP, right?
Yes, sir.
See here in the GCP, I have not added Kiran at Tibil or anything. If you see here for this prod, even in the IAM, in the prod, I've simply added GCP consultants. And this in turn has both of your email ID.
Okay.
So that's why, can we first do an experiment with this? Let's see whether this works or not. If
Okay.
it doesn't, then I can change it.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Hmm? Yeah. So add member. Yeah. Okay, so you have the editor. Now you can verify whether it works or not.
Yeah. Can you share that link in this chat, sir? I'll just access it.
Which link?
That about Google link, complete Firebase link.
This entire thing.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is StudentMate app. I'll send it in the. Okay, I sent it in the group. First, verify whether it works or not, please. If it works, then I will do the same thing for TeachMate also. Hey, we should not be eating this simply. We should be showing it to Anupama ji.
I think it is not able to see any projects.
Is not able to, is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so then let me then simply add Kiran SV. Let's see whether that works. Kiran.sv at tibillmissions.com. Editor. Done. Oh, it says only from specific domains. Do one thing, just go to, okay, let me just send this URL, Kiran.
Okay.
Yeah, can you click on the second URL?
No, there was an unknown error while processing the request. It is saying.
Okay. Is it possible for you to share your screen and let me just
Yes,
see.
sir.
And you've gone there using your GCP screen is using your Kiran at Tibil, is it?
Yes, sir.
No, see, you are on the Gmail account. No. There was a second. There's a second. Go there. Kiran, click that. Now see. You have access.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that is enough. Yeah. GCP consultants is enough. I'll do the same thing with your with the other project, TeachMate. Okay, now I'm going to send you the TeachMate URL.
I think if I get access here only.
Yeah, you should be able to see that there only. Just refresh.
Yeah, it's opening for me. Both, I can see both.
Yeah. See now, StudentMate and TeachMate, both are there. But this one you need to change the account. Yeah. You can see, the DMS, the TeachMate, StudentMate, all, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, excellent. So, so now you have Firebase. What else you need as far as the GCP console is concerned?
That Malika, can you, as per the document, can you guide Vijay, sir, how to?
Sir, I have shared one document on WhatsApp.
On WhatsApp, is it?
Yes, sir.
Which
We
one?
can use workload identity pool for GCP login. That is YIDC token generation for GitHub repos.
1 minute. Let me open the document first. You've not given me access.
I will share, sir. I will share.
I can also share my screen. That way you can also guide me.
Yes, sir.
Okay, are you able to see?
Yes, sir. I can see your screen.
Okay, you're seeing the WoW apps prod, right? So tell me, where do you want me to go?
Sir, in Cloud Shell, you need to run these commands. It is showing apps something organization for me now. Select organization.
Okay, let me share the screen. Okay, are you able to see this screen?
Yes, sir. On top of the Cloud Shell, we can.
Where?
Cloud Shell.
This one.
This one. Click on that, sir.
So, Mallikarjun, isn't there a way to do this using the cloud console itself? Do I need to go to shell only?
In shell only we need to do. Sir, we need to run commands. That's it.
Okay. All right. I'm opening the.
Continue. Authorize.
Just 1 minute.
The commands, the doc that I have shared with you,
Wait.
you have to start from that.
I've not yet been able to log in.
I shared one doc with you, sir.
I've not yet been able to log in. Just a minute, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so now what is that command that you want me to send here?
First, we have to create a workload identity pool. That is the command, first command.
No, can you type that command in the WhatsApp?
Sir, you can just copy paste that one, full command. That create a workload identity. That command I have created. You need to just copy paste it in Cloud Shell.
Okay, the gcloud IAM workload identity, this one, right?
Yeah, that one, sir. First one.
Okay. Created workload identity pool.
Yes, sir. You have to run next command. That is create workload identity provider.
This one.
Yeah.
It's a good point, yeah.
It's an error.
Complete condition reference period.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
Sir, I'm checking one.
What is that?
I'm checking, sir. What is
Okay.
that?
And Kiran, can I do this? Kiran, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll share the admin at Whiskits.app with you.
Okay.
Whatever the changes that you do as admin, open in a separate instance of your browser. Whatever you do, if you can capture the points, what you've done, then I can review with you. Because I need to continue the discussion here on other topics.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Yeah, so let me first give you let me send you separately. Open a separate window and there you log in, Kiran. That way you don't mix it up with other things. Can you confirm that you're able to log in? Hello? ಏನಪ್ಪ? ಒಂದು ಮೇನ್ ರೋಡ್ ಇತ್ತಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, ಕನಕಪುರ ರೋಡು. ಎರಡಕ್ಕೂ Till about I think 12:31 open irutte. Yeah. And the invitation letter.
Hmm.
Yeah, okay. And explain to them and then invite them. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Good. Huh? ಯಾರು ಬರ್ತಾರೆ? Okay, ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಬರ್ಲಿ so that I can transfer the content to that. Bye. ಕಿರಣ್ access ಆಯ್ತಪ್ಪ?
ಲಾಗಿನ್ ಐಡಿನಾ ಸರ್ ಅದು?
Login ID and password ಅಪ್ಪ.
GCP da?
Yeah, this is console.google.com.
Okay.
Console.cloud.google.com for that. So first is till that slash is the ID, next is the password.
Okay. Verification. Phone number ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಸರ್ ಇದು ವೆರಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್.
Phone number,
Yeah.
does it indicate phone number or you have to enter the phone number?
I need to enter the phone number.
98452
98452
92334.
233. Code sender.
Okay, I'll tell you the code.
Okay.
65
65
48
48
40. Has it let you in?
Yes sir.
Okay. So please capture each and every point
Okay.
that who has a change using this admin ID.
Okay sir.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So now you have complete control, right?
Yes sir.
So please continue, and maybe once when this discussion here completes in another couple of hours, I'll check back with you. Yeah.
Yes sir. Okay.
Okay. Anything else you have as an update or you need?
No sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Karni ji, Pratibha ji, Ranisa ji, any one of you have any questions for Mallikarjun or Kiran?
No, sir.
Pratibha ji, how about you?
No, sir. Kiranji is helping me.
Okay. All right. So Kiran and Mallikarjun sir, you can drop off. I'll connect with you a couple of hours later.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
And let the goal be that by end of day today we should be able to get the TeachMate and the StudentMate apps running.
Yes sir.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you. Mallikarjun sir, is there anything more? Mallikarjun? Okay, so it seems like. Okay, all right. So this is the current status of the production setup. Any questions before we move on to the next topic?
So, they will be handling our DevOps, or we are going to handle it ourselves moving forward? Like, what is the, they will be setting it up once, or we will have to do it ourselves?
Currently, the production setup will be done by them.
Mm.
And the idea is to enable Anisha ji, Karni ji, Pratibha ji to continue. There'll be some transition time. So they've been contracted to help us for the next, say, a couple of months for a very limited duration. So the contract is for about 60 hours. And in that, one of the mandate is to set up, which is what they are doing right now. And after that, there'll be, so every day morning, 9:30, we have a session with Anisha, Karni, Pratibha, Shravan, myself, and all these others, so that, we review. But the idea is now they set up and they make it functional, and then any knowledge transition will happen. So it all depends. Also, we are looking to actually, if anybody knows, we are looking to hire a full-time SRE person. SRE means Service Reliability Engineer. See, now that, we're going to go to production, we need somebody who's focused on only the infra part, various other operational parts. Typically, when you are in production, two kinds of issues have to be addressed. One is a functional. Okay, so that is where, say, Anisha ji or you, Rajita ji, you will be handling, right? By the way, we need to discuss that model also. Maybe we can spend some time on that and then we can go further. See, one of the point that our Kanti ji and the mentors team had is that Rajita ji and Ashwini ji may not be appropriate for on-site support, because the two of you are also parents, right? So they are not comfortable that the two of you are there as a tech representatives, because it also means that there could be you as parents may also that role may pop up.
Mother identity may
and for the child also the mother feeling may come, no? So therefore, looks like the two of you are going to be debarred.
invalid.
Okay.
That's a blessing.
God bless my Guru.
Now I need to enroll Sakshi into Gurukula as soon as possible.
Really, that's a blessing.
So, which means that now all of this falls on the able shoulders of Anisha ji. Whether it is tomatoes or eggs, everything will fall on her face. Okay, but jokes apart. So now, okay, so there are two levels of support. See, for the first, say 2 weeks or 3 weeks, right? This hypercare. What is hypercare? We have already spoken about it. Hypercare is, as they are doing something, if they run into some issues, it could be because they are unaware. So immediately you can go, hey, why are you not using that? So it's a learning, right? Or there could be a genuine issue. So maybe, they're trying to save and it's not saving, it's giving some error, and she, let's say Anisha ji comes to know about it, and immediately she works with, let's say, Karni ji and Dhaval ji, and they figure out that, it cannot be fixed immediately. So how to address it immediately. So it's usually called as a immediate support, right? So knowing, how the system is set up, she'll be able to figure out, okay, can it be and Dhaval ji may say, just give me 5 minutes, I'll fix it. And, something happens, and then she says, okay, now refresh. Okay, now works. Or, they may figure out, oh, no, it requires another day of work. Then, along with Dhaval ji and Karni ji or others, she has to figure out, okay, what is that they can do currently to work around this? Is it something that is blocking them, or is it just a workaround? So that's the first resolution. So as a functional expert, she knows the system. As a functional expert, she'll be providing the first line of support. Now there may be second line of support needed. So it may require some database to be refreshed, right? Somebody to go and do some database change. That is where she'll be in turn working with Dhaval ji for front end, Karni ji for API, Pratibha ji for database. And she also knows enough to be dangerous now about all the things. So she may herself feel that no, I can only do so like that. We'll have to set that protocol exactly what she'll be doing. So we'll probably evolve it. But that's the first line of support. And at that time, you may need somebody with the back end, that is the infrastructure, GCP. We may decide that, the simplest Madhu for all diseases in computer problem. There is correct, reboot, right? So you may have to reboot. So for rebooting, you may need, the SRE team. And so that is the support initially that we need. But going forward, whatever we are currently doing, this will be done a lot more continuously, right? See, now imagine we have two environments. Dev, you're doing some development and it's not working. Ashwini ji is jumping up and down. So now somebody has to help her. Who will help her? Right? No. The Dhavalji's bullock cart is late somewhere. So then what you do?
I am the least dependable person on this team. So don't even think about me.
So like that, we need to have somebody who manages all these environments, more of an infrastructure person, setting up of all these pipelines, maintaining them. We have now a data intelligence team. I'll give you all update. So there is Raju ji, and then there is one intern called Yukta who have started working together to create some initial metrics. So now, as they are working, their environment will come. So you see, now we have the Gen AI team, we have the UI team, we have the backend team, we have the validation team. So many things have to be set up and supported. So we have found the need for a person. We generally call them as SRE, Service Reliability Engineers. Their job is usually twofold. They're good with all these Linux, Unix, database, the password, network, hashing, pashing, all these, terms, he was talking about tunneling, Bastonos, all these kinds of things, they should not feel, I've come into Greek, right? They should feel comfortable listening to all this, okay? And they should be good with all these things. Go to command line, execute some command and see what's happening, yeah? So run some profiling, monitoring, why is it spiking? How can I bring it down? So a good one full-time person is needed. Yeah. So right now the knowledge that is coming to Anisha ji or Karni ji or others is just so that they can be aware of what environment or what infrastructure on which they are going to be running. They themselves, if they have to do, one of them have to become dedicated towards this. It's a specialized practice by itself. Just like how Dhavalji is focused only on the UI, right? Given a choice, he can also figure out and work on the back end. But there is so much to be done in the front end. It's a specialized practice. So that's why we have a specialized practice for SRE. So we need one person. So we are on the lookout. It could be somebody with say at least say some 9 to 12 months of working experience. A full fresher also we can take, but there'll be a lot more training. If nothing works out, maybe that is the next resort. But we are right now on the lookout. So if you know anybody who seems to be the kind of the profile that you need to look for is somebody who is very comfortable with command line. You talk about Linux shell and ask them to go and do shell scripting, write to a file, open a file, truncate a file, set command, they feel very comfortable. Go to root mode, change the folder permissions. So people who really thrive in those kinds of setups, right? Who really like that. There are some of us, who really love talking to command shell than to other people. So such is the profile needed.
So
Okay.
Vijay currently when she is the on-site person, so I can assist her if she needs it. Or she'll be all in.
So if you can be with her. So that way, if she has to cry, you are the shoulder.
Can train her to tasks.
But you have to make sure that she cries.
She always, when the students start shouting.
Akka,
starts
this is
singing.
not working. Akka, come here.
Akka, that is not.
So you simply you have to learn how to be like Dhavalji.
That's.
You have to.
I would say this is not a big issue.
Exactly. You
Anish,
cannot say student weight is down. This is focus time. Come on. Look at the nature.
next trick is, Anisha, don't you know this much also? What have you been doing for the last 6 months? So all these are the tricks of your trade. But the point is, I want to see her cry. How many tissue boxes and huh?
Very tough to make her cry. Finally, I'll end up crying.
So-
I will.
So the two of you will be there. Okay, so next week there may not be much. Next week, you may go on maybe Monday for the openings, just so that they feel acclimatized, figure out from when they want to really start using the application, and then you need to be there from that day. So the first 2-3 days you have to be continuously there.
Yes.
All the time. Say for example the week after, right? And then you will also get a sense how it is going. We'll also set up another system called as a fresh desk, where as soon as the issue happens, you will be able to log it, right? That way, when we are talking to Dhavalji or backend team or anybody, we will use that ticket to track. So we will know what all is happening. Yeah. Okay. Great. So this is the broad structure. So two things. One is from a primary support, the two of you will be there. Then we need a SRE person. So all of you in your own networks see. What I was going to say is, yeah, I've already requested Shashidhar ji and everybody. The kind of people who.
Maybe Anisha may be having contacts. Maybe a
Freshers and freshers.
So no, look for this. Okay, so typically people coming from diploma background who really want to be hands-on, right? They're really good at these kinds of things. Generally, or if in your circle, in engineering circle also, there may be some, usually you call them as geekos. Okay, so usually they'll be wearing glasses and they don't want to talk to people. They don't even want to have eye-to-eye contact. They love that black screen, right? So you need to look for such people initially. Later, once when they come here, Dhavalji will train them how to look into the eyes. Because some problem keeps happening. The Dhavalji, it's not happening, Kumar, Dhavalji, it's not happening. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, okay. So we'll now shift the attention. But before we shift the attention, Karniji, Pratibhaji, Anupamaji, whatever Ghibli goop that we spoke, clear? Any questions? Anupamaji, are you
No
there?
questions, Vijayji.
Oh, thank you very much.
Because it was tough for me to understand.
This you understand, no? What I'm
No,
saying?
no, that will not trigger me.
This one. Anupamaji.
No, Vijayji.
There's a whole box of it.
It's okay.
Okay, all right. Karni जी, आपको कोई सवाल है?
नहीं जी.
हाँ, good. Okay, Pratibha ji, all okay? Whatever you heard?
Yeah.
Okay, so what it means, Karni ji, Pratibha ji, Anupama ji, is that the rest of us, Monday, once when they go, that is Anisha ji and Gayatri ji, they will go to Gurukula on Monday. They will understand from when they will start using the application. So from that day, imagine as an example, let's say from the following Thursday, they will start using the application. So then they will specify the timings. Say, for example, morning 10 o'clock to 3 o'clock. During that time, the rest of us need to be available in a short notice. Okay, so we need to be monitoring our Google Chats and be available for immediate response, right? So, of course, if need be, they can even initiate conversations. So those two will be there, and immediately they may call out to any one of us, depending upon the situation. So the next few days, and that you need to call out, from when you need such a support. Say, for example, for the first 4 or 5 days, you can have the rest of the team like that available, and then we can ease up. Yeah. By that time, you will also know our rhythm. We can ease up. Clear? That is clear, no, to everybody online also?
Yes.
Yes, Ji.
Yeah, wonderful. All right. So, yes, Pratibha ji, go ahead.
I will not have my laptop and phone on July 3rd and 4th in the morning time. June. Next July.
July 3rd and 4th should be okay, Ji, because my guesstimate is the first week it is primarily going to be a pen and paper, but anyway, 30th they will know. The first week is going to be more of a pen and paper learning. This next week, that is the week of 7th, is when they may start using the application, but they may run some dry runs. My suggestion is, maybe towards the end of next week, you may want to do some dry run. So at that time, so it should be okay, Ji.
Okay. Morning time, like, till 5 o'clock, I'll not be available on phone or laptop.
That's okay. 3rd and 4th is okay. Anyway, Carnegie is there, and by the time you please oh, Carnegie, since from when you are not available?
Mondays.
Okay, 30th to 10th. Okay, so which means that definitely will make you cry. Okay, so Anisha, get one big carton box of tissues, kerchief.
From OpMate point of view, Anisha ji will be ready because I'll tell everything whatever is necessary.
So please ensure that she has enough of clarity about how to use OpMate, how to see. I think now that the approval is also automated, maybe only very few things she may have to do, but still, anyway, please help her with that. And database, let her be very clear about the database structure. Yeah.
Yeah, I have made one app related to data OpMate thing. So that should really work for her. But I told her not to delete anything. If any deletions is there, you call me back because I don't want to give such things to anybody.
Yeah, sure. And in terms of the APIs, StudentMate and TeachMate APIs, Carnegie, have you started helping Anisha ji understand all of it?
Yes, Ji.
And Anisha ji, you feel comfortable with the APIs that are there for setting up lessons, how to add key items, how to add it to Journey. So go through step by step. So between today and so you are there only till tomorrow night, right, Carnegie?
Yes, Ji.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So anyway, Shravanji will be also there. So you can take the guidance of Shravanji also. But until Carnegie is there, you can work with him during this time.
But Shravan sir told it will be midnight for him, so he cannot.
Not during the daytime. What I'm saying is, for learning purpose. Yeah. And then you also are aware, no, Pratibha ji, how these APIs are structured.
I told her, I've taught her from the database point of view, from the TeachMate point of view, from StudentMate and OpMate. All the 4 parts which I know, I have already explained. I made an OpMate app for myself and for her because it will be very difficult for her to go to database and do the changes. because it will be a nested information to change. So I made that app. And then
Space.
She has
anything
access.
debugging and
She
all,
already has access to that, right?
anything debugging and all, we will get from Carnegie. I told him to do it, so he will explain it to us.
Sure, sure. Wonderful. Yeah, so I think, the three of you can spend time together and should be okay. Yeah, I think it's going to be all okay. Great. Then, let's switch the gear and go to the next topic, which is, I think there is a request for changing the levels. So we'll go into that topic now. So from a UI viewpoint, can you first show what is the issue?
Of what?
So, yeah, you want to come, Ji? We can discuss.
The content related.
No, for content organization, they are now looking for some 3 levels. So can you, can we discuss that issue?
Yeah. I'll share.
Which one? No. I lead content also. Yeah. So for as far as Gurukula is concerned, every learning is through TeachMate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, you are in touch with. Okay. So she had messaged me who all will be coming on Monday. So I'll tell that the 2 of you will be there. So this Monday, Anisha ji, you and Gayatri ji will have to be there in the Gurukula.
So shared in WhatsApp.
No, Google AI. Parents are coming.
So you have to go only as parents. You have nothing to do with this.
That is such a relief for us, actually. It's to become independent.
See, the ultimate aim of software is to be fed up of software and hate software. So that is the time when you will reach software enlightenment.
Oh.
Initially, you will be like, oh, I want to develop a code for this. I want to develop a software for this. Then you'll be like, why do you want to develop a software for this? It's such a headache. All right, yeah.
NCERT English. Anupama, if you can open that NCERT, keep it open, no? NCERT English video. You have it. Yeah, not this one. You can first see the English one.
The one you got from
No, I
Madhuri.
gave the other one. This one. Yeah. No.
This one, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So, yeah, tell me what is going on.
So, in English, the format Madhuri showed is there is a they call it a unit. Parents and folks is a unit. In that chapter 1 is body of you. In that lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, lesson 4. They call it as day. From now onwards, they'll call it as lesson. So now there are 3 levels here, and entire English NCERT is like that. And she was saying with many other subjects also tomorrow when we go into Kannada, Sanskrit, all that, we can expect 3 levels. And so, how do you put it from the, because you are giving only 2 levels called topics and lessons.
Got it. So my question would be that when you go to a school and learn there in an English subject for say, let's say grade number 6, okay, you are at a particular level. In English subject, there are chapters. Okay. are the chapters grouped by a certain level of content or they are not grouped?
Means, can you show that?
Maybe
again?
for the example, this is good.
Anupama, show that table of contents, no?
1 minute.
And second is that, even more importantly, would you want to always group content or not? What is the advantage of doing that? So yeah, you can show Anupama ji.
In
I'll
order to
stop
have
sharing.
the flow of one topic to another topic, the grouping is required.
But is there enough content to be grouped?
Meaning I didn't understand what you mean by.
Yeah, let's see what Anupama ji shares.
Huh. Service.
Service reliability engineer, site reliability engineer, different.
So if you see here, Polji,
Hmm.
this is unit 1.
Hmm.
In this, each story is again divided into 5 lessons because it's a huge one. The story is broken, then you do a question and answer with it, some grammar check on that. Again, in the next part of the story begins. Each story, so they are calling that as the entire story cannot be dealt on one day. So it will be lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3.
Can we
like
go
that.
to unit 1?
Unit 1.
Bottle of dew.
You can also show that you can show Anupama now Madhurya's lesson.
Also, please share this link on the chat group as well.
Yeah, this textbook. First show Madhurya's lesson, so that way we can see how she broke one story into 5 lessons.
Guruji came.
Rajita ji or Gayatri ji, you have to share that English lesson. I don't have access now.
What Madhurya did. I have it here.
I sent you.
So the production setup is happening, Prabhuji. So that team had come and they're working today. Then, we spoke about how the support will happen. So Anisha ji and Gayatri ji will be in Gurukula on Monday. Because, Ashwini ji and Rajita ji are also parents. There was a topic about whether parents should be there or not. So therefore, they'll only be parents. They'll not be the technical support people. So these two will be there. Monday, they will decide from when they need to be there. Looks like the app will be used maybe say after a week. So when they start using the app, they will be there for the first 3-4 days continuously. And we talked about, how they will be the primary support, and behind the scene, everybody else will be available. All that we discussed. Then there's a content related topic, and that's what we're writing.
This is going from teachmate to database to database.
Yeah. Yeah. So what Madhurya ji wanted is they will only focus on the content. They will create the content. They'll experiment with children to see whether the content is working. And they'll hand it over to Gayatri ji. And Gayatri ji, Rajita ji, and Anupama ji are going to be responsible for setting it up on system. First few weeks. After that, once when the rhythm sets in place, they will hand it over.
Yeah, English. So, go to the first part. Double G. So if you can see, this is unit 1,
Yeah.
chapter 1. So we are calling this as topic in that chapter, in that lessons. Now you see 3 levels here. This is the chapter 1 bottle of dew is divided into 5 days. Because each small thing they are doing with some exercises. You read this part. Now let us answer a few things from this part of the story.
Yeah.
Whatever this, are we able to upload it or?
No. We need that's what I told you, 3 levels. There is a topic, chapter, and lesson. Right now we have only topic and lesson.
2 levels.
2 levels are there.
So,
Some subjects need 3 levels.
but then we get from what is
No. She told this is how the subject is, so we have to change in our database. Whether it's feasible or not, I don't know.
So see this one.
That is the English thing. This is how they have divided the Buddha Chetna people have divided. What you are seeing is
Go please. Let's scroll through this. Day 1. How much is day 1?
So
This till here day 1.
day 1, day 1 is intro. Come down. Short day.
Okay, come down.
This is day 2.
Day 2.
A short part of the story is given with images.
Go down.
Go down. And then tasks.
This is day 3.
Day 3. Okay, go down.
Some 15 questions and MCQs. And day 3. And a task. Day 4 is about the grammar and related to that story.
And the video.
And a video to be watched on that.
So basically, they don't have much content for a particular lesson in that case. If they want to just have this much in a day, then the problem is that it's not much of an interaction within a day.
Interaction with
Of student with student meet. It's just basically a piece of slide or 2.
This is there.
This is also there.
See, okay, so I think what they mean by day is, that is the content that they want the child to assimilate in that day. Because there's a time lapse also they want to have in the place. So that's the way they naturally think about it, day. So is this entire thing about one particular chapter?
Yeah, one no.
This is a part of one chapter. They are further breaking down a chapter into
5 lessons.
5 lessons.
Each lesson is over a period of time. Day 1, day 2, day 3.
Because they want to deal with the grammar, the words, everything related to that lesson.
See, let us look at it. You shared this, right?
It is, I'll stop sharing.
Oh, it's okay, let it be there.
And also, we have no, as of now, very vague idea of how the eyelid content is going to come. So it's always good to have minimum 3 levels, so that it will be easy for us to organize the content. Level 1 can be, subject is anyways there, it doesn't come under any level. Subject is just subject name. In that particular subject, there can be the topic, chapter, and lesson. That way, when they are giving, now if we take Rekhaji's Veda chanting, which he has made many levels. In each aspect, supposing if we take daily prayers only, in that again levels are there. So it's a lot of branches.
What she is.
But we have only 2. We need 3.
3 levels.
We have only 2. In that it is tough to make put that thing into. We'll get confused and also.
Because the other subjects are okay with 2 levels. Only in case of English, we are facing this.
Now we are seeing English. Madhurya ji said tomorrow if we go into more subjects like Kannada, Sanskrit, we don't know how it's being organized. So they haven't yet gone into that. So 3 levels is always safe is what we can use the 3rd level or we may not use the 3rd level.
Okay, so no, the way I think we can look at it is, Karniji or Pratibha ji, can you tell me from the database viewpoint, what is the way by which we're organizing the content? So you have the atomic unit is a K item, and how K items are grouped together. That particular lesson, what is the tagging in which that appears?
I'll just say the levels that we have right now. Okay.
Yeah.
First, right now, when he gives fundamentals, it will come as give all the subjects related to this teacher. Okay.
Okay.
Related to this lesson, this level of student. Okay. For the in the students
The topmost is level.
Yeah, level and subjects are together mapped. Okay, level and subjects. For example, if mathematics is a subject, okay, there can be 16 levels. So,
Yeah.
Same mathematics L1, same mathematics L2.
Yeah.
The way it can come. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, first is subjects.
Yeah. Subjects. Yeah.
That's level. That's how I'm taking it.
Yeah.
Okay. Then comes to this subject plus level topic. Many
Okay.
topics can be there. For
So
example,
subject and levels are connected, and then you have topics under them.
okay. In those many topics can be there. And then in those many topics, each topic can have lessons.
Yeah.
Okay? In each lesson, many K items or they call it as block.
Yeah. But a lesson is the consumable unit. K item is the smallest atomic unit, but
Correct.
lesson is how they start the journey.
Correct.
During a lesson journey, they can pause and they can come back to the same lesson, right?
Possibly. Yeah.
Because you're tracking slide by slide.
Yeah.
So each K item is a slide.
Correct.
Okay.
Is this
Yeah, clear, Ji. One more question, Pratibha Ji. This concept of subject, level, topic, lesson, K item, is this ingrained into the database column name, or is it coming in through some configurable table?
Ingrained.
Okay, so when a lesson is added, you have a table where columns say which subject, which level, which topic, which lesson it belongs to. Is it?
Of journey. That is the meaning of journey. Am I audible?
Yeah, yeah.
What you told is the same thing. That is the meaning of, we call it as journey. Journey has one lesson. Okay. That blocks are not there, only lesson. Okay. Which lesson, where does it belong? This lesson belongs to. And that is called as topic. This topic, where does it belong to? Subject. Subject in the sense ingrained with the level, right? Both of them are together. So this subject is created by the teacher. This
Okay,
is
so you have a table called journey, and the columns of the table are, of course, the K item or the lesson ID.
lesson.
And then you have topic ID, level ID, and subject ID.
Correct.
And these are columns.
Yeah, these are all each columns. Just to make sure that the same lesson we are trying to check.
Huh? Even K routes is a column. K routes is the collection of all the units.
Blocks.
The blocks.
That you are
Right.
taking, that one.
And what is the name of this table?
Journey.
Journey. Okay, journey is where everything is associated.
Correct.
Okay.
Association table, basically.
Okay, okay. And
It's like giving a book to the student.
what is that?
It's like giving a book to a student.
Right.
One lesson, one particular lesson, one booklet you make and give it to the student. That's how it means.
Understood. Okay. And as far as the front end is concerned, front end simply when it adds, it already knows to which topic, which level, and which subject you are adding, right? Those are already deeply embedded topics and concepts in the front end.
Yes. See, I think where Madhurya ji is coming from is a partly right situation. Okay, we might need to discuss this with her. But what is happening here is she wants to have very atomic consumables in front of students. Because beyond the point, if there is much content, even if however interactive it is, student might not just interact with it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so what she is probably doing here is in a day, you know, if the student has 5 minutes worth of attention, let's just capture that.
Correct.
And be done with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The counterpoint to that would be, would that result into effective learning and knowledge retention? Is the student going to spend enough time and reason about things and, you know, be involved so that they seriously learn it, or they just quickly do it and go get away with it? There are two sides to it.
Agree.
Yeah.
But right now, for you and me, if let's say we are able to organize the content in the way that she feels that she wants to do the experiment. See, we have to enable her experimentation. Of course, you know, whether this is the right atomic unit or not is a content level decision, right? So for now, let us look at it purely from a tool viewpoint. From a tool viewpoint, see, Gayatri ji, let's ask this question. So now what is that she wants you to add? A English lesson, right? And that English lesson, she wants to break it into multiple days, correct? That's the need. Okay. So I'm asking a question. So this is for a level 1, right? And the subject is English. That is also clear. And the topic is, let's take one first topic. What is the topic? Fables and folks, right? This is very clear. In our system, currently, we are able to support it. Now, let us think in terms of lesson. Now, that is where, you know, you are not able to add the intermediate level. So, instead of thinking of the lesson as that whole thing, if let's say day 1 fables and folks, if that is a lesson name, and then day 2 lesson fables and folks, day 3 for the time being.
So it's a lesson 1.2, 1.3.
So some naming convention with which, you know, we can solve for now. Then, you know, what we really need to do in order for this to be flexible is, see, right now, the database has ingrained the concept of, you know, this 2 levels that we need to break if we really want to make it flexible. What we need to do is, you know, you add and then you associate dynamic levels. That is a slightly more deeper change, right? So in the next 2-3 days, it may not be the appropriate thing to do. So for the time being, can we address it like this? Yeah, and then the question of what Dhavalji is asking. Is it the right atomic unit? That's a content level discussion that needs to happen. So that is a valid question for you to raise along with Madhurya ji from a content viewpoint. But from a tool viewpoint, you can, for the time being, with this convention like this, you can solve.
We have to put it for the first page. We have to put it in this format.
So see, what I recommend is, if at all you need some further levels, bring them in the lessons, in the way you name the lessons. Think of the lesson as not just one yeah, it can be day 1/1.1 and the lesson name. day 2/1.2. So some convention for the time being. Whatever the dynamic hierarchy that you need, you embed all that in the lesson level.
Can I also suggest one thing at this point of time? Can we just rename this to classical chapter lessons? Because I think that is also a source for confusion.
That you can probably do in the front end.
I will do it in UI.
UI, you
Yeah,
do it.
yeah.
See, let you map. Say, for example, subject level is clear, no problem. Topic should be chapter.
Chapter, yes.
Lesson is lesson.
Lesson is lesson.
See, only the naming convention problem is topic.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
That you for now bring it in the front end. Because
It's not just the chapter, they don't topic.
yeah.
term.
Yeah.
Topics have to be changed to chapter.
Yeah, and that's a relatively minor change.
Yeah.
It's just
It's
a
a
label
UI
change. It's just a label change. So that way we're not going to make any backend change. Yeah.
But in the front end, it will be a chapter, but in the back end, it will be mapped to the topic.
Yeah. For now. Because otherwise, if because they'll have to make the change in the column wherever the queries they're using this column name as topics, they'll have to touch all of it. Given that Carnegie is going away tomorrow night, I would not recommend this change at this point of time.
And I think beyond a point, we have to also think about student experience.
Yeah.
Okay. How student is able to interact with things and discover things as well.
Yeah.
If our organization is helping student, or it's kind of like taking them away from core learning.
Yeah.
Is what is will clear the hierarchy problem.
Yeah. So
Can I-
in the next iteration, we can bring a dynamic hierarchy, and through Opmate, we can name those hierarchies in any way.
Correct.
So we can work on that feature next.
Yeah. Can I show something here?
So Vijayji, if we name like this for the initial, like whatever is for the first, and later when you change it. So this content also should be changed.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out how do we transport the content. See, from now onwards, once you set up a production, if you're going to make any releases, the release has to take care of the backward compatibility. How do we move? So all these complexities will come in from now onwards.
Can I share an experience quickly?
Yeah.
See, this is a very good reference point, not from a perspective of whatever is the content, but from a perspective of how a self-learning system should be, so that students can very easily interact with it. And we can also have our own opinions. It's not that this is the final truth and, this is how it should work, but we can take some inspiration from this. So this is the level. Okay, this is primary, secondary, and all is what we are talking to basic grading of student. This is already taken care of when our student logs in. So they will already be logged into their own level. Okay, but here, say for example, case 3, 7, 8, 9, which might map to a particular level in our case. So they are going to a level. Now you see they are seeing the subjects. And they see how beautiful is this experience. It is very intuitive. There is nothing hard to it. There is no other elements to it. Just simply they are putting content in front of us. And let's go to physics here. Yeah, this is subject. Okay. Yeah. Now in electricity, they have different concepts. Okay, electromagnetism, energy. So it's actually a good point. I think they are organizing here also by hierarchy. Yeah. So I think what happens here is that this is actually
Topic.
So this is actually a chapter. This is a chapter. Yeah. Okay, this is a chapter. And then these are lessons. Okay, and if you go to a particular, yeah, so now let's go to static electricity. Okay, That is something which has good amount of, yeah, so there you have blocks.
K items.
Yeah.
K items.
So these blocks are our key items. Yeah, but I think what Madhurya ji is also understanding and focusing on is whether kids are going to interact with this much content in a day is what we need to understand and experiment. Break it down, because I echo that concern that this might even be an overwhelming thing, and we might need to break down given today's situation.
Yeah.
So I think it's system. In classroom, a teacher will take 1 hour. She will not, for her to complete 1 hour is important.
Yeah.
And then some topics at micro level, it has been missed out.
Yeah.
Here each micro level did
It has to be. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You cannot give importance to when they talk for 1 hour. What is the micro, what is the learning each micro level, that importance may not be possible. Whereas here is, you have to focus.
Correct. Yes. In fact, at micro level itself, like effects of static electricity can be expanded into interactions which can strengthen their understanding of static electricity. Even this much is a
Microscopic learning.
correct.
Compared to classroom.
Yes. Yes.
That's why this breaking it into.
Yes.
areas
Agreed.
of-
How much level we break, makes
Yeah.
difference.
Correct.
And each level once you break it, you need to give some clear understanding and all.
Yes.
So
Yes.
as long as students were able to go through it, there will be a better grasp of the subject compared to classroom.
Yeah. So each one can have some sort of curiosity element and interesting.
This is the
K
KI.
item.
This is key item as of now in our system. Yeah. If
Before coming here, Vijayji, there are already 3 levels.
3 levels. Yeah. That we can bring. But for now, in the lesson naming, you solve it using the lesson naming.
We'll name it as we have told us.
Yeah. Come up with some convention, clear convention that is documented. Follow that convention, and later when we migrate, we can see how to.
With the next, the modified description. How do we, this 2 weeks lesson, we have to rename.
No. You don't have. Ideally, you would not have to do anything. We'll have to take care through some backend migration, data migration that we will figure out next. Yeah. See, once we go live now, the next major release could be, let's say, in another month, unless there is some production issue that happens, right? So from now onward, we'll have to start getting into that monthly discipline. So what is that next monthly major release that we will discuss next?
and this will give some insights into how to also like come up with lesson image URLs, see how it is directly related to the. Yeah. So that will be like very easy for student to understand what is it that we are talking about.
We'll send it.
This link.
Yeah, I've sent it in student meet group. Please share.
And share it in this and I'll ask her, you can refer this.
Okay, so now the level thing is
Yes.
okay,
Yes.
addressed. Okay, all right. Related to the level thing, Pratibha ji, Karni ji, Anupama ji, you have any questions or any further points?
No, Ji.
No, Ji.
No, future, the idea is to bring some dynamic levels. So you should be able to, as a teacher, decide how many levels I want. How do I want to organize? That we can probably look into how to bring that experience. Okay. So this topic is also clear. What is the next major topic? Is there any other major topic in anybody's mind?
That Google form thing which Madhurya ji asked.
Yes. So that we need to actually talk to them. Yeah. Because the quiz that they require is actually now possible in our student meet. I have modified that thing. But the only thing is that whether they want the kids to enter into student meet and then take a lesson and then take that quiz, or they want to first have the student take that quiz and then enter into student meet. I think from the quiz, it looks like, they want to unlock the key to Gurukul. So, whether they want, yeah, it's a treasure hunt kind of a thing. So it's more like, you've unlocked or something. So I don't know what is their expectation. Once they clarify, we can see. But
Yeah, so she.
Do you want to, do you think we should talk to Darshanji now?
Madhuryaji can understand this.
Huh.
yeah,
No, who sent that? But Darshanji sent, no, that form.
Person working on it is Madhuryaji.
Okay, so should we talk to her now and get a clarification?
otherwise you can send a message to her. Whatever I will share that message to you and you reply to, share with her.
Also, Gayatri ji, Monday,
They are coming, right, Madhuryaji? They said they.
Monday are they coming, Prabhuji?
That's fine.
Okay,
So
So-
that day we can have a direct on this treasure hunt feature for a student.
but Monday there is no expectation of any of the teachmate or student mate available, right? Huh?
They will be.
That's okay. But Monday there is no student mate needed, right?
Children don't have their laptops.
No, that will be later.
It'll be 1 week later. So Monday, apart from the two of you, is anyone else needed for Monday? Dhavalji, Prabhuji, do you think is a bridge course? So you will be there to initiate them. And then Anisha ji and Gayatri ji will be there just to understand from when they need to come and modalities. Otherwise, nobody else from our team will be there.
We will be there as parents.
You'll be there as parents, yeah. Okay. So then, this clarity you will bring?
Yeah, I'm sending that note to guys.
Maybe that's why I'm waiting for her to come on 30th. 30th, we can have a direct interaction if possible.
When you say direct, Dhavalji will not be in Gurukula on 30th.
I can invite them.
Yeah, because we need this discussion with Madhuryaji and Dhavalji.
Yeah, 9 o'clock is that Gurukula.
Yeah.
So they are coming from house in Gurukula, they are coming to Gurukula as well.
No. Let us not do it in the morning. Post lunch session somewhere around 3 or 4, if they can come here. It's important that now that Madhuryaji is working on the lesson content, having a face-to-face interaction with Dhavalji, because even Dhavalji has to understand what she is expecting.
Yeah.
I had one interaction in the public. I had one experience on school teacher in America or second. I had explained the concept to get her feedback. She said the one component you have to be very the children in association with the parent, they have to do some activity at home. Like parents should get involved in the child's progress.
Yeah.
Like the activity should be completed with child with the parent. Like it's a joint activity for child and parent. So that will increase the bond with the parent and child. That's what's that.
Excellent.
Good suggestion.
Yeah.
She gave the Western world point of view because the bonding is very less.
I didn't hear.
Yes, you're overly bonded.
Yeah, they're like, get out of the house. Why?
What Pratibhaji you have to say?
I didn't hear. I couldn't.
No, what Prabhuji said is, there was a suggestion when he was in US about some activity being assigned to child that they have to complete along with the parent. That is that suggestion that somebody gave, and Prabhuji just mentioned that.
Okay.
Yeah, a US teacher apparently. Yeah. Okay, so this anyway can go to Madhuryaji because at the end of the day, content discussion has to.
I'm reading here.
Post lunch.
When here is now in present.
Yes, but see, only for Dhavalji and Madhuryaji have to. Dhavalji come up to you. be around the 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and things fall in place.
Okay.
Yes,
So that is clear, no?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Then the next topic I have in mind is Dhavalji, for the integration with the agent mate,
Agent mate.
right? So, so let the production environment come up, and Monday let them anyway complete this. So Monday anyway, Anisha ji, you will also be in Gurukula. So Monday, if you can also come here, then maybe we can discuss together. By Monday, I hope the production environment will be set up, and we can, first let the three of us sit together and discuss how it can work, and then we can decide, whether to go to production with that or not, whether to continue with the Gemini integration. That we can discuss on Monday. Let's have a separate deep dive for that. Or should we do it after Monday? If Monday you're going to be spending time with Madhurya ji, should that
I don't need much time, like 10, 15 minutes, half an hour.
and that will anyway.
Yeah, so that's why, if she also is here, then, we can touch upon that topic.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I think that will be that. Anything else? Any other topic?
Yeah, so what I will be doing from my side now is one question I had is with respect to auth. As a part of this setup that they are doing, production setup they are doing, are they also adding some sort of authorization?
It will continue to be the same basic auth that you have with Carnegie. Right now, we're not going to touch that.
Okay.
Because what I'm proposing is that we bring a thing called as key clock. That requires some work by backend team. It will be for both authorization and authentication. So next, that requires a fairly decent amount of work. That let us bring as part of the next release.
Okay, yeah. Because auth, the reason I'm talking about auth is twofold. One is that we need to have better security and all, that's fine.
Yeah.
Second is that even front end should be behind an auth.
Yeah.
Currently, what will happen is we open the URL, it will hit the front end and front end will load, and it will subsequently start interacting with the backend.
Yeah.
Which is a very insecure way of doing things.
Yeah.
Front end itself cannot come up unless they are authorized with some sort of Google kind of an authentication, is what the standard practice is.
So now, let's talk through this. As far as the front end is concerned, are you saying, okay, so if somebody goes to our, so we'll have it on the Whiskits.app / say student mate. So Whiskits.app / student mate, when they go, depending upon from where the traffic is coming, you don't want them to be able to see the app itself. Is that what you mean?
Unless they are authorized, they cannot see the app.
But for you to know that they're authorized, see, there are broadly two ways by which you can authorize them at that initial stage. One is you are coming from a certain geography. Another one is you are coming from a certain IP range.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Authenticated, sorry, I'm not saying.
So the front page will load, then after that, they will anyway give the email and password, no? Authentication is, see, the landing page you cannot avoid. So that's why I'm asking. Landing page can also be authorized by geography, by IP address. Those are the two facts that you have, which anyway we are bringing in. So if, let's say, outside of India, if somebody comes to our app, it will not load. That we will do. That's the basic geography-based restriction.
What I'm saying is, say, for example, I hit the front end. Okay, I'll share again. I hit the URL. It's not going to distinguish. Yeah. So if I do this Proteon thing, okay. the first thing it does is it does not hit the UI code at all. UI code is behind.
No, this one is an experience that you need to create, G.
Hmm.
What you need to do is, the moment somebody comes to your home URL, you have to load them an authentication page where they need to enter the ID and password. See, for example, whatever that you have here, right? Say if I log out, this should be your learning experience, and they should have a remember me.
No, that's fine.
So this is something that you need to take care in the front end. So, and rest of your app, so now you have two ways of dealing with this. One is, this is a separate page. Rest of your app is a separate page. That is one way you can deal with it. Another way is, though your rest of the code has been loaded, rest of the code is behind a auth guard. Unless this gives you a token and gives a thumbs up, you will not allow them, even if they have a root, right? Say // something. It'll always prompt them to login. That is something that you need to build into your front end. Otherwise, at a backend level, one thing that we can do is, okay, is the traffic coming from say a region? Yeah, then only.
My understanding is that this needs to be done at a layer above both front end and back end, where there is an authentication application.
See that? Think logically. What piece of information about the user you have when they simply enter the URL? Nothing. Right? So therefore, authentication begins once when they give this piece of information.
That's true.
Now only you know who they are.
Correct.
Right? At this stage, the only thing that you can do is to say, oh, is it coming from this region? Allow. Coming from this region, don't allow. One thing. In some cases, you can do IP-based whitelisting.
That I'm not bothered about so much. As much I'm bothered about keeping two separate apps, in which the first app does not allow the access to the second app, unless it is.
That first app is this.
So then
you have to take care of.
Yeah. So then this is a separate app. Now what I'm saying is that the first app is that available as a Google service.
No. We should not. See, right now, so the first app is where you enter ID password. This is an application level credential. See, they should not have access to our environment. This one, is your entry pass.
Oh, that I understand.
Correct. This is where, I know who the user is. That's all. What we'll be changing in our next iteration is, this entire mechanism today is a basic auth embedded in our backend API. We will be bringing in a component to manage that whole user management, role authorization.
Exactly. IAM and all the exactly what I'm saying is
correct.
That
will bring next.
Correct.
But the entry for that is only through your UI.
That's fine. That's fine. That's okay. I mean, whether I have to anyways do a customized UI even for something which is available as a service like IAM. But we should be depending on that kind of an auth versus a manual auth.
That's the next level. But today,
today is okay.
So you need to ensure that this becomes a landing experience, and they may have something like a remember me that you need to handle for now. After some days, that anyway, the token will also have the expiry time that we will ensure. So this has to be the landing experience.
Correct.
After that only, you have to take them to inside.
Okay.
Okay. So that's the auth part.
And for that, I think what I will do is, if necessary, create something like /auth or /login, which is actually a separate
application.
Fair
enough. But you have to ensure that your rest of the application relies on this token. Right? So the rest of the application, if it finds that it is not there, usually one of the strategies that we follow is multi-page. You have same app, but multiple pages. So the first page is a login page. If it is successful, it routes to, it asks the server to give the next page.
Correct, exactly. It asks the server to give the source code. Otherwise, I don't want to serve the source
Code,
in the
right?
first.
That is why multi-page approach.
Correct.
That is one approach.
Mm.
But you can also make it as a single page application.
Mm.
Ensure that the rest of the code is behind the auth guard.
Got it. Okay, I'll figure it out.
Yeah. Okay, so that is done. Then, so from Monday onwards, so as far as the current testing is concerned, are there going to be any further changes from your side, from a front-end standpoint? This you need to change.
I mean, that will be, see, I will be doing a host of things from now to a later point of time, which are non-feature and non-functional. But they are all improvements to the application stability and architecture. So that I will continue on doing. What I will do is, I will not merge them daily. I will do a weekly merge or something like that. If it is a critical issue I find, I will communicate and merge.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we will do a planned merge on a weekly basis.
Yeah,
that
is
is kind of things.
After we have gone live.
Correct.
My question is between now and going
is there
live.
any critical issue that we need to do?
One is this.
Yes.
Second one I will recommend is, can we bring in somewhere here a version numbering that you can read from a env file, and I will make our pipeline embed a version number.
What will be the thing?
So somewhere in the application, I should be able to know what the version number of the student mate.
No, how will it help, and what is the function of that?
Oh, the function is, simply for communication. As an example, when Ashwini says, I'm finding an issue. Okay, which version of the student made? Because now that we'll be having multiple environments, we'll also have multiple versions. In production, we will have version 1.1. In dev, you will have version maybe 1.6. So, because we'll be releasing to production after only certain time. So therefore, have somewhere a small version number which appears.
So we need to also ensure the tagging in Git then.
That's why I'm saying the tagging will happen in the Git. The version number will be auto-generated in the Git. What you need to ensure is you read from an env file the version number.
Got it.
All you do is version number, the env. How to generate that version number will be taken care in the pipeline.
Yeah, Git tagging is very important, because if we want to now merge or revert to any version, we should be able to do that.
So this is not just Git tagging. This also must be UI enabled, UI visible. So in your env file, you have a
I understood.
version number.
Yeah.
So the key will be decided and it will be shared with you. That key, whatever the value, you simply start displaying.
Correct.
That same change will come to the APIs. So that way we will know which version of the API we are talking about here. Okay, so guys, Ashwini ji, so two critical changes. One is login will be enabled as soon as you load the application from the front end. That change he will do. So now if you simply have a URL, it was going inside.
It was not going inside, but it would load the source. That's the difference. I want to also not load the source.
And that is a change that you need to take.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to bifurcate, multi-page, make sure that then it can be loaded.
Yeah.
So you let us know which way you want.
Yeah, otherwise logging system is in place.
Okay, excellent. Login. So the other change will be version number. There'll be a version number that will start appearing. Yeah. Version number and then copyrights. Version number and copyright. Both you read from a env file. Though copyright will be hard-coded, but let it come from env. We'll embed it in the, So that is the only change, Ashwini ji.
What things just make sure login is still working the same.
Right? Yeah. So this will happen between now and sometime next week.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think from your viewpoint, are we in a relatively stable? Are there any showstoppers?
Yeah, so we need to go through that quickly now, because
you want to break it up and you want to list it?
Let's go through it once more. I have modified something. Yeah. And any other blockers also you think are there? Let's go through it.
You want to share? Ah.
Maybe I will.
No need to worry about everything. Right now, according to you, what do you consider are the blockers and critical issues? Blockers are, I'm not able to use at all. I hope there is nothing like that. And there may be other, this is a major issue. So just show that list. Yeah.
Quiz maybe not, the books are not working.
What's happening?
I think I'm clicking on the answer, wrong answer, correct answer, submit, it is not going.
You're not on the.
Yeah.
Yeah, not
Share the
I saw this just now.
Is this a quiz that requires advance on the
This is an old test case. I have not made any changes. No, sorry, Nana is either.
This is due to the change, right?
Thing is, Vijay, they have to go through, I have to run all of them once again, cases.
Okay. All right. So,
Because the moment any change happens, even the older things start failing.
Yeah.
So for now, once just do that. And by either today night or tomorrow, you make a group. Only 2 groups critical. That is, I'm not able to move at all. If there is nothing like that, the rest, if they need to be addressed, we can address.
Yeah, just a minute. So I answered the correct question. So it's more about wrong. Sorry, this is also correct.
Your intuition is correct for answers.
Okay, so here I am not able to
Wrong
proceed.
answer.
Yeah, that is due to the change that I did. So please, this is a blocker. So now what we have is, I'll tell you the reason behind this. Now we have 2 kind of progression, advance on correct or default. So advance on correct is when you can only advance if you have answered a correct. So this is still enforcing that mode, even though that is not there in this quiz. Is the bug.
Ravaji, later can you share that document which you got from Madhurya ji, which you were discussing about the grammar?
Yeah.
So now, Ashwini ji said, by tomorrow or so, she will go through all the test cases. Do you think, you'll be able to get this version number and this thing done today? If you can get this thing done today.
Copyright, how should it appear? Where should it appear?
See, usually the way it appears is, version number, copyright. And when you go into the app, somewhere, in the menu or somewhere, you please decide, G. Usually footer. You can have a footer area. Version number.
We'll specify to the year in copyright, is it? Or what copyright text in copyright?
So whatever the text in the ENB, you simply read and show.
Okay.
Hariom ji.
Now, this is a quiz I cannot solve.
That is the motivation,
Exactly. This quiz is so easy.
There are some questions that are in the category of never to be touched.
Exactly. Don't even try to figure out. Yeah, breadcrumbs is actually, I know, so I'll fix that. So breadcrumb quiz. Let us see if there are any other issues as well. Especially that.
So the thing is, it's allowing us to click on subject. And including subject is not.
It's not that. Yeah. I because this is actually a previous and again recent implementation, which I quickly did.
Topic also again, and go to 5.
Yeah.
Click on
So basically what I will do is I will not show those there. It will be only showing the links which are applicable, and that will work. It's a relatively minor issue, but I will fix it.
No, once you log out and log in, you are going through the correct site.
Yeah, that I will also ensure. That is log out,
Login, yes, it's to the.
log out route to home page. That's very good as well.
Here, one thing I saw yesterday, I told Pratibha ji also. So what happens is, let's say, that person is not, doesn't have topic 21. He doesn't have social, but he's able to see. Make that he saw. But later on he can't go into it.
Because they cannot discover that. So that's also a backend issue.
Yeah.
Because they should not be able to access the content which they are not authorized.
No, it doesn't get it. Actually, if you go according to this one, it doesn't.
Even otherwise, because that is a hacking risk, right? It's the way we should.
Because of this logout login.
No, that's good actually. That's a good thing to, I mean, all these things are good only. Basically, if they directly specify a topic in the URL, they are able to access that, even though they are not assigned it. So,
So whenever they give that, you simply make a request to backend is giving that content.
correct.
But only that card is coming. Inside the lessons, they're not able to go in. But the
That's
card
fine.
should not come. He's not assigned, he's not. He doesn't have that in this. Gamescom cannot access the level 6.
Yeah.
Okay, he cannot access, but what is the, can you
Yeah.
bring it up on the
Yeah,
screen so
yeah,
that
you can just-
Karniji and Pratibha ji can also see?
Wait, I'll give the exact one.
You tested out the theme change.
Yeah, yeah. One second, I'll log into the.
Today, Bolt is giving everyone 10 million tokens
Oh,
Free.
free.
oh. Wait, what is special about today?
Nothing.
Their anniversary.
Actually, their cloud is giving 10 million tokens to everyone. So that's why Bolt is doing.
So Karniji and Pratibha ji, there is one particular topic that Ashwini ji is bringing up. When a student doesn't have access to a particular lesson, still by giving the change in the URL, looks like they're able to access it. So she's going to show it now. Let's understand, and then we can see what is the change that we need to bring.
Yeah, we can also put the network tab there, Ashwini ji. Let's see what is the response.
Okay.
वैशाली जी, आप हमारे अन्नपूर्णा माता हो। पर आज आप है। ओ ಬರ್ತಾರಂತ, okay. Okay, so are you able to see what Ashwini ji is showing? Karni ji, Pratibha ji?
Yes, ji.
James Bond is accessing.
Nisha ji, you also have to watch this.
So here James Bond student is on level 5
Hmm.
and the social science lesson is level 6.
Hmm.
So actually, if you go according to this fundamentals, he will not be able to see social here.
Hmm.
There is no
Hmm.
social here.
Hmm.
So which is correct. But if I go according to the link, he is able to see the social science.
And if you click on that,
Nothing is there. He will not be able to see.
okay, so he's able to see the lesson card.
Go back, please. Here. Yeah, now inspect and see. Let's see the network tab.
Can you repeat for Gayatri?
So he is level 6, James Bond, and he should be able to see only level 6 subjects. So if you see the cards, he's not able to see social. But if we go according to the link here, if we give, he's able to see social.
Can you refresh? Can you enter again?
Here he's not able to see.
No, go back to that level card.
Hmm. So let's see what's happening here.
What is the API that you're calling?
Maybe you can take over.
You're calling topics by student ID. So, Carnegie Pratibha looks like the topics is not verifying whether the student has access or not, right?
Wait, so let's see. This is subject ID 21. Now, social is not a subject that is accessible to. No, wait.
James Bond. James Bond is level 5, social is in level 6.
What is subject ID 21 here?
It is a social lesson.
Wait, let's go to here and see. So social is not a subject accessible to them. Okay, so when we say that we go here and pass 21, which is a social subject, we are getting a list of topics for social subject. And when we pass that here, we are getting back the response. Yeah, this should not happen. So if we go here, let's see what happens. It's not returning anything. Yeah. So either it should fail or it should.
Are there actually some lessons under that topic? There are. If you go as level 5 James Bond,
level 6 you will get it.
It'll come. Okay.
Okay.
If you give that lesson ID directly,
That also it's not correct. It's not correct.
can you spoof that? Can you spoof the lesson?
It doesn't.
That doesn't come. Only the topic. Looks like only the topic. Carnegie, are you able to follow?
जी मैं चेक करके रिवर्ट करता हूँ मैं.
No. But first is, are you able to understand the issue?
जी.
Okay. So when you give a URL having a particular topic ID, though that particular student doesn't have access, it is returning the data.
For this stuff. So here. Okay. So what it does for lessons is what it should also do for
Yeah.
topic.
Looks like the lessons is controlled properly, Carnegie, but topics looks like it is not.
जी.
Okay.
We should clap for all these bugs. Very nice.
Can't find out these.
This is how a tester's mind should be.
Not
Good.
when look, I'm getting it.
That's okay.
So like at night, 12 o'clock, Pratibha ji Papa, I think that she got into the call and she actually saw this, why it's happening.
Okay. Yeah, so looks like it requires some fix in the API side. Okay, anyway, they will find it. Okay, so any other topics? So what you do, Ashwini ji, like this, if you can please list and bucket them into, definitely they need to be fixed before students start using kind of issues. And okay, even if they are not fixed, put them into these two buckets.
Lunchtime I will at least filter out and then I check with
Yeah.
which are the
No, need not have to be right away. By tomorrow, if we can do that.
No, at least the old ones I have.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure, we are going to put it in this.
So see, from my perspective, I will tell you, okay, what are the critical most things that I want to be ensuring that they are taken care of. One is that dragging issue should be now gone. Okay, the dragging that was not happening should no longer be the case. Please check that in TeachMate. The new block which we were adding, we were not able to drag and drop across the other blocks. That is fixed. Second is that the critical most thing is data corruption in new blocks. So that you please ensure it's not happening.
6 Vinodji.
Yeah.
Dragging, you're saying the arrangement of the flowers.
Should I call her?
No,
ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ವೈಶಾಲಿ
data.
Yeah, she came half the way. Okay. Vidyaji is coming. back.
And functioning of quiz and yaksha.
Ah.
And yaksha.
Yaksha.
Hmm.
Yaksha, that's what I don't know how teachers are using.
Yeah, so yaksha we will go over that, I think, when you are testing.
No, I need to maybe get from Madhurya's point of view or some teacher's point of view, how is it that they want to use Yaksha?
So I'll show you quickly. Okay. What kind of instructions can be given to yaksha and how yaksha is functioning. Okay. Yeah.
You're going to demonstrate in StudentMate or TeachMate?
I will demonstrate in. I'll just demonstrate some content first. What kind of content is it that they can put in, so that Ashwini can, get an idea of how it is working. So these kind of evaluation instructions are we expect. When we say evaluation instruction, we mean this kind of instruction. Where is it? This is not the. Very specific. I mean, by default also generic instructions are there in our yaksha, and they will be improving as per we understand more. But teachers can also give very specific instructions like this. Okay, teachers can give very specific instructions like this, that evaluate the kid on yeah. Sorry.
Later link will not.
Yeah, I'll give you. So this kind of thing. See how well they are understanding this concept and what are they saying. Give 1 point for this, give 1 point for this, give 1 point for this. So they can give very specific instructions as well. Apart from, yaksha already applying its intelligence on the content. So that is what we mean when we say we want evaluation instructions.
But in the TeachMate UI, where is the placeholder for Krishna's instructions and Yaksha's instructions? You separate.
It's separate.
Scenario.
Yeah. So this is the prompt. This is what it will directly say to the child when yaksha appears. And instructions are like whatever you want to specify here. So
No, but how do you know, Sariji? My question is, how do you know that this instruction is for Krishna or for Yaksha?
This is actually explicitly AI evaluation.
There is Krishna is separate.
There is a AI evaluation block.
Okay. Okay, so Yaksha is only during the AI evaluation.
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
For Krishna, I need text block, audio block.
Does it make sense to name it as Yaksha somewhere in the bracket?
Yeah, we will say.
Huh?
Definitely. Let's do that. And here what is happening is currently
You also have Krishna instructions,
So
no?
these are tutor instructions.
So let's call it as
Krishna instructions.
Krishna instruction. AI tutor Krishna, AI tutor, AI evaluator
Correct.
Yaksha.
So all the content slides have a possibility of tutor instructions.
Yeah.
And only Yaksha has the possibility of
Evaluate. No, perfect.
Correct.
But I understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's relate it to the UI concepts.
Chance.
Yeah.
And so that's how they will function. And the way Yaksha is wired up is, I will show you quickly. AI, we are in student teachment side. Yeah. Yeah. So this is our AI evaluation. And what we have done here is we will look for this kind of message. See, the reason you are getting all these things related to gravity is it is hard coded right now, which is what I will be removing very quickly. But what it is looking for in responses is where is congratulations?
So this you will now take it directly from the prompt. So this iteration, okay, this is a critical issue, Ji. Otherwise, they'll only be able to see gravity.
That's that basis.
Yeah, this was yeah, no, it's already there in my highest priority. So
He asked maths and saying, let us learn.
oh wow, nice. Okay, so basically it's going to look for content like congratulations, you cleared the test and things like that in the responses of Yaksha. Whenever Yaksha says that, basically the evaluation will be done.
That is when it will be able to go out.
Yes.
Come out.
Yes.
I don't know, we have tested.
Are we adding the points anyway?
Not at the moment because we cannot track points.
Okay, we haven't enabled it.
Yeah.
In fact, progress tracking only is not working. If I complete one lesson and go to the next lesson and come back to this here, it's as if it's 0 again from beginning I have to take up.
Yeah, we don't have that yet, but we will do that as a follow-up.
Okay, so anyway, so first let's get the production environment up and running.
Correct.
And then we can probably see whether this, at least the tracking, basic tracking, whether we can.
Yeah, that I will talk to Carnegie. Carnegie is here, right?
Yeah.
Carnegie, वो K item का complete API कुछ है क्या अभी?
जो चेंजेस आपने दिए थे वो या उससे पहले वाला सर?
K item का कोई इंडिपेंडेंट हमने API डेवलप नहीं किया ना, कंप्लीट ट्रैकिंग वाला?
नहीं जी.
हाँ, it's okay. हम उसको करेंगे as a part of follow-up after this. So what we designed already was slash complete for a key item, but then that also needs the tracking parameters and things like that. So we said let's first do the content and then focus on that.
Okay, so now that anyway, so are you fetching K item by K item, or are
no,
you?
I'm getting all the K items, but then what I want is a complete API for K item. So when I come advance to the next K item, I'm going to do a post call that I completed this K item.
So all you need is one API.
Correct.
So Carnegie, क्या हम वो कर सकते हैं for a given K item? If there's a request for completed, simply add that alone. A particular K item for a particular student done in the student journey log. Can we start tracking that alone?
हाँ सर, डिजाइन पैटर्न मुझे नहीं पता, वो सरवन सर से डिस्कस करने के बाद कर सकते हैं.
No, we can have a discussion. I can sit with you and I can show you. It is very simple. Just a simple post, which should essentially, for a given K item, it should simply go and update the status as done.
जी.
So let us enable that API alone, G. Because if that basic is there, then you will be able to build the UI experience.
Right. Yeah. So then that would also mean that if all the K items are done, then lesson should also be triggered as done, because then I will show that the lesson is.
That anyway, for the timing, you can only figure out if there's a list of K items. Whenever you request, right, let it come with done, not done. That way you can simply see the.
So before going into a lesson, if we want to show that the lesson is also done.
Okay.
Yeah, because so then that also we can have where once all the K items are done, it will trigger the lesson.
Lesson done. Okay, so these are the two basic tracking. lesson tracking and K item tracking. Okay. So Karniji, after today's session, no, here, after some time I'll go back home and I'll ping you. Let us review that. You, Pratibha ji, Anisha ji, and me, we can review that. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Provide a spec for that.
So just
API spec.
just come up with a quick spec.
Yeah.
It's simple.
Yeah.
Student ID, lesson ID, status.
Correct.
Student ID, topic ID, K item ID.
Yeah. In fact, I'll write now.
Yeah. If you give the spec, it should be simple.
We prioritized. I mean, it's not that we did not go to it, but we prioritized the content delivery first.
That's okay.
And then tracking.
Because this one, once they start using, at least if the basic tracking is there, we'll be able to.
Our thought was that content, tracking, points, gamification. Those are the 4 stages of development.
Yeah. So now tracking.
AI evaluation, given some example like this. Is it correct? Because
Exactly. Yeah.
will the velocity, right?
Yeah.
Or you should give sample thing.
So what I'm planning to do now is when you add a new AI evaluation or a quiz, I will have this as a pre-filled so that this is a bit more like correct.
Just put
And the reason why I'm not giving a lot of structure here is that each subject is different. Each teacher will be different.
at least.
Correct. Yeah.
One sample example, 1 or 2 sample examples.
Yeah. Makes sense. Thank you. Yeah.
But this the gravity said thing is too difficult for children. Let's go to gravity.
Yeah. Yes.
And also I like to say in nature I don't know can it answer? But then it becomes
It will not answer. I specifically say it will not answer your questions. It will only ask you questions.
and the child cannot come out of it until he finishes the whole yaksha, then come back. Right? Learn if necessary and take up yaksha.
Yes. Yes.
What is the finish banker?
You please check that
we'll start checking.
corruption issue. Yeah, that is the most.
So this document you share in the
Yeah, you are sharing right now.
So Karniji, we'll discuss after this. Yeah.
Yes, ji.
After the lunch break, we'll discuss. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Basic gamification. So once when K item is done, we can also assign. See, right now the scores. No, you're not reading from anywhere, right?
We don't have a score tracking.
So let's not have a separate score tracking. If let's say K item is done, some point can be assigned. If lesson is done, some point can be assigned. And your count not at the top today. How many counts you have in the teacher?
Nothing at the moment.
No, you have the card, no? What appears there?
Just the level and
You have some number, no, there?
yeah. But I removed that because it was only front-end implementation. So I removed that. So we just show the level and the name.
Can we bring some points?
But how?
Level anyway, you're getting from the backend, right? So now just bring a point. And in the get of this, no, wherever you're getting, have a parameter called as points.
That's what I know,
Uh,
but for that, they will need to implement that.
Very simple. What I will do is, the moment you do a key item, no, I will add some 10 points as an example. That I will discuss with Karthik. The moment you're done with lesson, I'll add 25 points. And this will keep simply showing the aggregator.
Correct.
For now. And what you do in the front end, the user experience, no, the moment they're done with key item, no, show some small flower spot.
That is,
Experience.
actually, I have disabled that for the time.
Ah.
It is already there.
Ah.
We already did the experiential workshop with that feature.
Yeah.
Now, for the time being, it's disabled. Once we have that tracking going on,
Yeah.
I can enable it.
So just whatever the get, no, for this, there also you add this spec.
Yeah, so in gets, this is a get student summary.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I am going to do is get student summary. Okay,
Yeah.
always will get points.
Yeah.
Currently, it is getting name, level of
Yeah.
ID and all.
Yeah.
Along with that, we will
Points.
have points.
Yeah.
So with any activity, whatever are the change happening to points,
Yeah.
it will reflect it.
Now, only one more question is, this API you're qualifying only once.
No, I will design it to be called every time there is an update.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So which means that, whenever you do a
activity.
activity,
This
that
API will be called.
whenever you are, for you a marker, activity done kind of a marker, right?
Correct.
Key item done, lesson done.
Correct.
You also invoke a student summary.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll figure out.
Yeah,
a way
because
to-
student summary can future have also notifications.
Ah.
That is also something we initially designed in the part of the UI, where it will also, because every call will bring in, okay, you completed this,
Yeah.
you completed this needs to be done next, whatever. So
Yeah.
it will also have.
That improvement we can bring in the next feature, next iteration.
Correct.
But now if we have this basic tracking, basic counting, we'll give a sense of completion.
Complete. Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Okay, that was enough. Okay.
What is it's working, but edit it's not working.
What is happening?
Or duplicate.
Okay, can you show me how did you do it again?
Okay.
Can you consistently?
I will do it, yeah. I'll change one more thing here. Maybe that-
No, this is you have already done. Let's start fresh.
Create it's working.
I will also specify the point.
Yeah.
In the API.
Yeah. Okay, so Karniji and Pratibha ji will discuss these two post lunch. Anything else that we need to bring up now for discussion? Ashwini ji? Right? Can we give them a break for lunch? Huh? I will come and take it. Thank you, ji. Yeah. So, Anupama ji and Pratibha ji, Karni ji. So we'll take a break for lunch now. Do we need to regroup after lunch? Is there a need? No, right? After lunch, we will. Just 1 minute, just 1 minute. Just 1 minute, Karni ji, Anupama ji, Pratibha ji. I just want to. Sorry for interrupting. Is there anything that we want to discuss with Karni ji, Anupama ji, Pratibha ji? Because now, post lunch, I think we can conclude here. But is there any topic from your side? Enilla Anupama ji. Okay. Anything else from your side, ji? Nothing. Okay. So, Anupama ji, Karni ji, and Pratibha ji, I think we can conclude now. So once when I go back, no, in the platform team, I'll put a message, and Karni ji, Pratibha ji, we can come together for discussing the change in the two APIs. Is there anything from your side, ji? Karni ji, Pratibha ji, is there anything from your side? Anupama ji?
No, sir.
Huh?
Nothing, ji.
There we did.
Pratibha ji, you're okay?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, Anupama ji, I'll not list all the items that we're eating. So,
We can show it.
So we will conclude. We'll say so we are having food, so you can also now have food. We'll conclude with that. And do we need to say? We'll say a prayer.
Yeah.
Prabhuji will say. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Sarvam Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Thank you very much, Ji. So we'll conclude this Zoom session now. I'll after some time I'll ping in the platforms team.
Thank you, Ji. Hari Om.
Thank you.
Hari Om Ji. Thank you all. Thank you.